What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Lucid, go over some of the data points, the battle that happened, and potentially a new partnership. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid did go down 3.3%. After hours, it is going up 1.29%. But all in all, Lucid did do fairly well. There was a huge amount of blood in the market. Like, you have the fear and greed index. I saw so many memes about this just being completely broken, but you have it under the extreme fear category. So people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily there. But in Lucid's case, you did have it defy logic. And what I mean by that is normally when the broader market goes down like 3%, Lucid goes down like 6%. So this overall was a very successful day in my opinion, and even at one moment it was green. Huge amount of volume, so 212.53 million shares being traded, 107.48 is the average. So when it comes down to it, there was a battle, and I can honestly say based on this, there's a lot of money getting into Lucid. Why? I'm not really sure, because there wasn't all that much in news. There was potentially a partnership that was announced, so I'm going to go over that in a second, but no official news. But despite that though, these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So after hours, 1.16, 1.16, another one, 1.16. So most likely that was just algorithmic trading kind of doing that, since it was very repetitive. But even another 1.16, 12.9, all that was done after hours. First one as well, 2.62 million. So a lot of money was getting into Lucid, even more so on the dark pool. So dark pool is often enough used by shorts and other just large entities. 1.7 million, 1.76. Obviously, I'm not going to go through each and every one of these. Feel free to pause it, but there is a huge amount of money getting into Lucid today, and a lot of which was around that lunch hour time. So when it did have that high where it actually was green for roughly like 5 minutes, but 5.9 million there, another 5.8. So again, the moral of the story is a lot of big money. At the end of the day though, there was a battle, because shorts, someone wouldn't have guessed it, but shorts did increase 7.68 million shares. 23.92% of the free float is being shorted. So shorts increased overall their position by 2.71%. Grand total, 290.67 million. Why they increased? Obviously just piggybacking off of the negativity. I did a pre-market video on Lucid, and even at that moment I stated, market goes good, market's bad, shorts increase regardless. So I think obviously this was anticipated, but for whatever reason, you have big money really getting in. So it definitely adds some kind of grayness to what happened, but there was potentially a partnership that was announced. So we saw 3 different kind of versions of this posted online. So you see ChargePoint. So the initial was 𝗖𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗧, says 𝗖𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗃 is right here, so running out of spec. So that was our latest video, and it shows heading to ChargePoint lab to charge this thirsty Lucid Motors Gravity. ChargePoint kind of comments based on that. You have this right here, the initial post, and then you have Nick, who, as I've mentioned in the past, is the head of communications for Lucid Motors, just the eye emoji. Honestly, maybe it's just me reading in between the lines too much, but for those of you that remember, Lucid did cancel that Electrify America that was roughly 2 months ago. So logically, they would be looking for a partnership in some capacity. And in my opinion, I do cover ChargePoint under one of my other channels, Financial Journey. It's not doing good at all. It's pretty much like kicking the can down for bankruptcy, but nonetheless, one way to somehow put something like benefit both companies is a joint venture in some aspect, and that's something that Rivian loves to do. They love just to form all these joint partnerships and whatever, and make like subsidiaries left, right, and center. Maybe this is something that might be happening with Lucid. And even when I've done my ChargePoint videos, I stated the only way that this company is going to survive if they actually do a partnership. So you never know. Lucid does really want to take down Tesla. One way maybe to do that is through the infrastructure side as well. So let me know your viewpoint on that. But definitely, I feel like just these 3 tweets all together, It is just very, very odd. And at the same time, you did have Mark during the Q4 earnings state many different partnerships. He didn't actually say exactly what they were for. It could be something along these lines. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there. What's your general thoughts on that? I myself, I'm not really jumping up and down for joy with it, because I know ChargePoint is definitely struggling. So I feel like Lucid already struggling as is, especially with the recent convertible note. I feel like this might be bad timing, but you never know. I might not have the vision that Lucid does have. But aside from that, looking at the options, 4.8 million in calls, 6.18 in puts. But as a consensus of all the options, 50% were bearish today. Just between 920 and 925, there was 923,000 in premiums. So if we kind of pull this up, look at the overall premiums, it looks like it was a multi-leg transaction, more oriented towards being bearish. Looks like a $2 put was purchased, and then a $1.50 put was sold, and then another $2 put was purchased. So yeah, kind of interesting. Nothing really crazy to write a home for that. But aside from all that fun stuff, based on the call options that were purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above 250. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub $2. So you can kind of see right here, just between June 20th, 2025 and January 16th, 2026, that's all the options that I kind of just brought up. So multi-leg transaction, what's your general thoughts on that? A lot of big transactions did occur on the secondary market in dark pool, as I mentioned, with it right now at $2.32, where it did close right below this pivot point. So 233 will be a key one to really get over. After hours right now, it is, of course, getting above that. But definitely with tomorrow's fear, we have a lot of big data points as well coming out tomorrow. So Lucid, again, needs to really defy just the broader market and really continue to push higher if it's going to see any sort of recovery. But no matter what, though, aside from that, $2.11 is going to be that strong support. Flip side, 255 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. No new analyst ratings, nothing like that. Possibly we might have some new ratings coming out over the next couple of trading days, whether it be tomorrow or possibly Monday, because Lucid did put out their numbers, and normally that does prompt some ratings. So we'll just have to wait and see. But aside from that, some key points to really watch for. $2.43 is that ALMA. Then you also have that 50-day moving average at 256. 50-day moving average is very important for Lucid, and normally does result in like a 30% swing. Maybe that's why shorts were really doubling down, just to try at their very best to really suppress Lucid. So let me know your general thoughts on that. Only negative is the fact that it is considered very overbought. So if there's a negative piece of news that does come out associated to Lucid, you could see some negative volatility. But I think all in all, Lucid is looking pretty a-okay, given the circumstances that did happen in the broader market. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Do you think that there is any chance of a potential partnership between ChargePoint and Lucid? What's your viewpoint on shorts doubling down, or I guess tripling down, if that kind of makes sense? And then aside from that, just big transactions. Why do you think big money gravitated towards Lucid today? So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some kick-ass buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.